Hi Flosstube, it's Angie and welcome back to my cross stitch channel. I have not responded to any comments recently. I'm sorry, it's not because I didn't want to respond. I've read the comments. I was just too lazy. Too busy doing other things, too lazy. I haven't sat down to my actual computer for a few days and I just haven't got to the comments, but I will. I will get to them eventually. I promise I've read them. I promise I've seen them. I've seen everything people have posted. I've already told you guys, I'm terrible at this stuff. So anyway, so much to show you. So much to show you. So much to show you. I'm so excited about it. Spoiler alert, if I didn't already mention this in the last video, because I'm pretty sure I did show you that I was either almost done with the stitching of Stargazer or that I had completely finished the stitching part of Stargazer. I'm pretty sure that I finished it and showed you in the video. But just in case I didn't, spoiler alert, I got the stitching part done. But first, we're gonna talk acquisitions, because that's the best part, I think, of today's video. I've made a lot of progress on stuff, but acquisitions are the best part. Hold on. Kids, it never fails. I can sit on the couch for hours. They won't even talk to me. I come up here to film. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. I'm out of breath. I just ran downstairs to do the password for the computer. Now I'm back. All right. Acquisitions, acquisitions, acquisitions. First. Look what came back. Oh, I'm sorry. From the framers. I did not spring for the anti-glare glass because it was already, I got two things framed. It was expensive. This was a purchased frame. They cut the mat board, they mounted the artwork and put it in here. The mat, if you can see through the glare, is kind of modeled. So it kind of mirrors the artwork, but this is gonna go above our fireplace and it looks so good. I'm so happy with this. So I just got that back yesterday. And then for people who've been with me following my channel from the beginning, you'll remember right before we moved, I did a whole bunch of videos so that there would be videos ready to go while I was not filming. I pre-recorded a bunch and one of them was finished projects, and I kind of showed you all of the things that I had done and not everything had been framed. One of them was called Wacky Witches from Clouds Factory. I started that in January of 2020 and I finished it in April of 2020, and it just sat and sat and sat until I got it done. And it's in such a huge frame and you can see my whole bedroom now in the glare, but oh, isn't it beautiful? So we went with kind of a gothic looking frame, because you know, Halloween. And then we tried to match kind of the deep purple because the framer really wanted to try to showcase that the fabric was purple. And they did extra wide margins on the oval because she really thought the fabric was great, which really made me happy because I dyed the fabric. But originally we were going to try to match the greens, but we just couldn't get a good green, and it felt like it would be too overpowering anyway, because green is a great accent. It's not necessarily great for this huge amount of mat board. But then she got an all black mat board, because you can see with the purple, when they do the cut, there's a white, the white core. But she also had a black core, black mat board, so it would look like we're outlining the whole design in black. And it just pops. So this is gonna get hung up in here, I think, for now. And then around Halloween, I'll probably hang it up somewhere downstairs for everybody to see. But those were my two items I got back from the framers. I'm back. Story for the end of the video on what took so long. Okay, so I've got my framed pieces. I'm very, very happy with them. And let's talk other acquisitions. I took a trip up to my LNS, and I was the only one in the store for the first like 40 minutes of the morning. It was wonderful. But I went in to finish kitting up Raven Queen, which I did except for one pack of beads that they didn't have. So I've got all the beads except the one pack. But I went to the section with the Krynic because I was going to pull it out and try to match it to a treasure braid or an entice. And the only Krynic spool they did not have, because they were out, was the antique gold. And I don't know if this is the correct one, but I went ahead and just grabbed a treasure braid that's a gold. And when I remembered correctly, or if I remember correctly, the first treasure braid I ever bought was antique gold, and it wasn't a solid gold. It was kind of a lighter yellowy gold. So I think it was this one. If not, it's a gold color. But the other ones that they needed was this coppery color Krynic, and I could not find a treasure braid or an entice that came even close. There were some oranges, but this isn't orange. It's kind of a copper shine. So I figured, you know, I don't hate Krynic. It's not easy to work with, but I can use it. The other one was this periwinkle one, which I don't know if you can see, but it's super shiny with a lot of iridescent color in it. And I did find a treasure braid that worked with this. It matched almost exactly the color. The difference was, this is a braid. It's not a number 4 Krynic. It's an actual, what do they call it? It is a tapestry braid. So this is what they very specifically said. So I don't know if it's different than what a number 4 Krynic, because I'm not familiar with all this stuff. So, and the treasure braid one didn't have quite as much iridescent in it. And so instead of just buying both, I just went ahead and stuck with this. This is what's called for. I'll use it. I'll see how it goes. I'll probably YouTube a little bit and see what YouTube says, because, you know, when in doubt, right? When you're not sure, because these are not things that I've ever really worked with before. So I got all that. And then, because I have been wanting this, you guys know I've been wanting this because I showed you this. I picked up my new Brenda Gervais Red, White, and Bloom. And just before I show you everything, I even went to Hobby Lobby because I love the display that she did. And I got the stars and the USA letters and a little tray. So this will be sitting on my tabletop soon. I even have the paint for it downstairs and everything. I was at Hobby Lobby yesterday picking up my framing, so I went ahead and I got the paints for it. I don't have the shredded paper because I don't know if I'm going to do the shredded paper. And then I have the actual called for fabric because I didn't have the brown dye. I have the brown dye now, but I ordered the actual because at the LNS, there was nobody working the fabric counter, so I couldn't ask somebody to help me find. She says on here, a fat quarter of this specific fabric will fit all of the designs in the book. And so I just wanted a fat quarter, which I think is like 18 by 27, something like that. And they didn't have any pre-cut in kind of a tannish color that was at large, and nobody's working the fabric counter. So I couldn't get somebody to cut me some. So I had just gone ahead and ordered it from 123 Stitch, along with the Grecian gold that is missing from my, it might even be from this. Oh yeah, Grecian gold. This is a mixture of DMC, Gentle Arts, and Weeks Dye Works. So I got everything on here except they didn't have the Gentle Art Grecian gold. But I have, for Red, White, and Bloom, I have Grits, Pamlico, Onyx, Peacoat, Oscar, Red Rocks, and Blue Suede. And the only Gentle Arts was the Grecian Gold, which the LNS was out of. So I ordered that online as well. So the fabric, the Grecian Gold, should be coming. And so that's ready to go. And then, because they were having a slight issue with the register, something wasn't working. And so I just, while they were trying to fix it, since I was the only one in the store, I was just sort of wandering around looking at things. Grab bag. $10, and it says they're loaded. So I said, what the heck? So let's open it. What is in my grab bag? I don't know. I thought, I'm not one of those that does like the box openings and stuff because I have never done a mystery box. So this is as close as I'm getting right now. So it looks like it's a bunch of patterns and, ooh, okay. So right off the bat, we have a Mill Hill kit. It is not a paper ornament or anything. This is actually fabric. So this comes with, okay, so here it is, a Mill Hill kit. Dream Big. This is really cute. It comes with, where is it? Package includes 28 count linen, floss, needle, and chart, and beads. Yep, has the beads and everything. I've never done a Mill Hill. I have a lot of people that talk. Most of the people I see doing Mill Hills are doing the ones with the perforated paper. This is Witchelt fabric, I believe. Not my favorite fabric, but I'm totally gonna stitch this. That's super cute. Isn't that cute? The tag on here says it's $18, so this alone is worth the whole grab bag. Obviously there's a red sticker, so it must mean that it was on clearance. Okay, Romy's Creations. Oh, this is kind of cute. This is tiny. It's a little one. This is called Dreaming of the Sea by Romy's Creations. It's kind of cute. Okay. Let's see. Here's one by Tempting Tangles called Kiss Me. Here's a chart, Bobby G Designs. Oh, that's fun. For June. I love monarch butterflies. This is really cute. I could see myself stitching this one. Oh, okay. Now we have three more. Okay, these are all by Handwork Samplers, which the cover work says accurate and historic reproductions and original designs. So the first one is the 1792 Anne Lewis sampler. It's hard to see exactly what it's going to look like, but the verse on it says, "But some will say, what offense if true, that I prevail, fair ladies, most with you." Okay, so here is, so that's what it will look like if I stitch it. So that's interesting. This one is called the Young Family Registry Sampler. Okay, so it looks like this is just a registry of this family. Interesting. And then this one is by Mary Riggs, is what it says. To praise the Father and the Son and Spirit all divine, the one in three and three in one, let heaven and earth combine. Oh, okay, so there's that one. Well, I mean, out of all of these, I am for sure doing the Dream Big and the, the June Butterflies for sure. Always Kiss Me Goodnight. I'm very tempted if I potentially change the colors. I don't like the colors of this. And I'm not sure I'm a big fan of the leaves that are on it. I don't know. So this is a possibility. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to plan to work these samplers. I've done some, I mean, the samplers I've done have all been very gimmicky, you know, the Star Trek, the Harry Potter sampler. I don't think you can call long dog, I mean, they're called long dog samplers, but I mean, I guess it's a sampler. It doesn't have an alphabet on it, but these are not exactly my taste, so I'm probably not going to stitch these, which means that I'm either going to have to, you know, do a giveaway or something, right? And then I'm not sure about this one. It's cute, but it doesn't really match any me or my kids, so this will probably go into a pile of stuff that I plan to mail out to somebody. But that was exciting. I'm definitely going to get another one because, I mean, out of all of those, that Mill Hill kit is really cute, and I'm definitely thinking it's worth it. I don't know, though. I'm concerned, or not concerned, but I'd worry that if I go and grab another one, it might have some repeats of the same patterns. So I might wait and maybe a month or two. I don't know. I don't know. That was fun. That was fun. So that's acquisitions. That's what I've gotten. And let's go ahead and let's talk progress. So I am almost done with this. I have probably about 100, maybe 200 stitches left. So we've got Bigfoot Bunch. This actually turned out, I thought it was going to be a lot bigger than it was. It seemed to be bigger when I first started stitching it, but no, it's nice and tiny. I have 2 more leaves, probably about the size of this one, that go up here. I've got the face on here, the face on here, and then there's a little teeny tiny guy that's all 1/1 stitching that goes in there. So I'm just waiting so I'm going to do those last. And then I just have to finish all this grass that goes under here, and then I'm done. Technically speaking, if I want to follow the pattern to the exact, you'll notice on this that there's a bunch of little flowers that are kind of floating around in the air. I don't care for those. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them, but I actually really like this. I think it looks clean. It doesn't look too distracting. I love these flowers. Oh, and I have a little flower, leaf and a stem down here that I still need to do. So I've probably got about 200 stitches left to go in this. So this will probably get finished today. And then I need to make a second one for my mom, but I don't know when I'm going to start that one because I want to get Abominable done as well. And then that way I'll know how much floss I have left over. So he's almost done. So that's awesome. I love it. When I brought my framed pieces, hold on. When I brought my framed pieces home last night, my husband said, he looked and he says, "It's really nice to see something is done." And I couldn't quite grasp his meaning. Was it like, you stitch on so much stuff, it's finally nice to see that you actually finish something and you don't just, you know, or it's nice to see something fully done instead of just folded up and sitting in a closet. I wasn't sure what his meaning was. It turns out his meaning was, I watch so many of your little videos, I'll walk in and it's always just in progress, in progress. I don't ever see anything finished. I said, well, yeah, I can see your point, because a lot of people that I watch, I mean, in their defense, they have tons of works in progress. And so obviously it's going to take a while for them to get done. It's kind of why I like having either some really small things that I work on or just a few big things at one time so that they can get finished. So far, I mean, I've finished a lot. I've Harry Potter pillow sampler, Star Trek pillow sampler, those got finished. The Let's Bake was finished. Jaws, Mythbusters, my Long Dog, Wacky Witches, There was a Christmas one that was kind of impromptu last year. I've got one of my Halloween ornaments done. I just haven't fully finished it because I wanted to stitch on some more of those. I'm almost done with Bigfoot. I'm almost done with Stargazer. Dark Queen will be done right on time. I'm trying really hard not to spend more than a year on any one in particular, except for Middle Earth, because Middle Earth is going to take a long time to do. Especially, like, so far I haven't touched it this month. Big surprise. I think his point was it's just nice to see the fruits of my labor. It is nice to see. I'm very happy to see those things. Okay, so I'm inserting here a quick little video to explain my frogging process on Dark Queen. Okay, so this is editing Angie, and I wanted to show a little update. You'll probably see more of this, but this is the start of part 9 of Dark Queen. If you remember, the last time we started Dark Queen, the skirt was kind of up to here-ish. Well, it was a little bit higher. This was already done, this was done, and all of this was done. So all of this is new, as well as all of this. If you remember my last installment with Dark Queen, I mentioned that I thought these were off because these weren't connecting right, or they weren't spaced right, and I was correct. So it looks right now because I fixed it, but initially this was down farther, so that when I got to this point, it was up here on this coral. So I unpicked all of this coral, then I finished stitching this and found, as you can see, that this is off as well. This is off by 1, so it's down 1 farther than it should be. So I may or may not end up redoing all of this. I haven't decided yet. It kind of depends on the next part that has this in it. But for now, this is now completely correct. It all matches up. This was correct, this one. And all of this is correct. So I'm going to go ahead and finish Dark Queen, all of this stuff. And then depending on how much time is left in the month, I may just redo all of this so it works. The only problem is if I redo all of this, then the trident up here may be off. And I don't feel like redoing both parts. So I feel like I'm gonna wait on redoing this until I get the part that has, I'm assuming it's a tentacle that comes in through here. And if that is messed up by this, then I'll redo this. Kind of like I waited to redo this until I found out if this was a problem. And it was, so I redid it. It added about an extra 300 stitches. So anyway, that is my update on Dark Queen for now. Okay, so now that you've seen the frogging, let me show you where I'm at. So here we are. There is still so much to be done on this lady. I'm probably going to work on her some today. I don't know, I keep getting distracted by shiny things, which you'll see in just a minute. But I still have to come like clear down here and do all of this. And I still have to go over a little more because the Q-snap is in the way. But I wanted to get all of this done to find out where the problems lie, which, thank heavens, turns out not to be. I mean, restitching this is not a big deal. Restitching the whole trident is kind of a big deal, so I'm really hoping I can just get away with not having to do that. But until the end, I mean, if I can manage to make it work, then I'll just fill in the little gaps here. And nobody will be the wiser except you all and me. But it's looking really pretty. The colors are fantastic. So that's where we're at with Dark Queen. I mean, and let me tell you, this is a couple thousand stitches already, and I still have so many more. At the end of the month, you'll know how many this month's part was. It's insanely big. Okay, so next we are on to Sorry, I'm going to move this really quick because I'm going to show you my little... First, beading needles are absolutely fantastic to use for beading. I've stabbed myself so many times with my beading needle. My thumb hurts. All right, so here she is, my beautiful, beautiful lady. I'm starting down here. Obviously, you can see where I'm starting with the beading. It took me a lot of time, probably more time than I would like to admit, to figure out my groove on beading. I don't know if the beads are all supposed to be uniform so that they're all laying a certain way. I was looking up tutorials on beading, and some people just do a half stitch through the beads. Some people do a full cross through the beads. I find that they're very, very secure with a full cross. I'm not worried about them popping off, so that's what I'm doing. I mean, it's to each their own. So right now, if I stitch the full cross a very specific way, they all line up exactly the same, which I personally like. I can see where I started, where some of them aren't lining up right, and it just looks kind of sketchy to me. I'm not going to point them out, but I don't know. The pattern says that I can use either the invisible beading floss, or I can just use the color of the thread. Is just matching color is what it said. So I assume they meant the matching color to where you're at the pattern, which, come on, this is ridiculous. There are tons of colors in here, so I'm not going to switch my thread color out halfway through beading in here. So in here, I'm trying to kind of match with the medium color, and up here I'm using, like along here, I'm using this color. When I go up in here, I'll use a darker color. From far, I mean, if you come up and just look at my beading, it's messy. You can see the thread. I'm sure that there are tutorials out there that are better and will teach me how to make my beading immaculate. For now, if you look at it, you can see my beads, and they're pretty, and they're super shiny. You can't see really how shiny they are. These ones are like clear, silvery shine, sparkle to them. Part of why you can't see the shine probably is the lighting in here is crappy, but I'm working on that. All of these, all the beads in here are gonna be just plain white. These are all the clear, sparkly ones. These ones are multicolored, and then I have a bunch of these clear, sparkly ones that'll be coming off in droves. I find that beading in here goes a lot faster than beading out here, because in here I don't have to count. Out here I still have to count, and that is annoying. So I figured what I'm gonna do, so well worth it, just gonna say. So what I've been doing, this may not be the right thing for everyone. This is what I'm doing. It's working for me. So as long as it works, there's no right or wrong way, I'm sure. So I've got my needle minders on here, and what I've been doing is I just take 2 needle minders and I stick my beading mat on my thing right here, and then I pull the plastic off, and then I'll just dump a few beads on here and just press down on them, and then I can turn it over, I can do whatever I want, and it stays. I haven't lost a bead yet. I'm sure I will, especially now that I've said that. And then I just dump a few on here, and then my plan is every night I'll just dump a handful of beads on here, and then I'll just bead until they're done, and then I'll stop and move on to something else, because I can see how beading could be tedious and annoying the longer you do it. But that is what I'm planning to do with her for now. She's beautiful, and I'm really excited. I can't wait till she's done and I can figure out framing for her. But that's it. That's all I've worked on. I haven't done any stitching on anything else. I did pick up better stuff to fully finish my jaws piece, so hopefully you'll be seeing that soon. And I came up with a plan to finish up my Mythbusters frame that's going to be awesome. And sometimes I get an idea in my head and it's like that was super easy for me to come up with. It just came to me getting my Stranger Things done. Jaws was a little bit harder, and Mythbusters, I had an idea in my head. It obviously didn't work out because I couldn't find the type of frame that I wanted, so I had to think outside the box, which I did. So I'm going to adjust that one, and I hopefully can show both of them to you next week. Jaws might take a little longer because I need another piece of fabric that I'm waiting on. It's going to be cool. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it. As soon as my fabric for Red, White, and Bloom comes, I'm going to start getting that ready because I'm going to stitch that on and off throughout June. I want to have it as ready to go as possible for the 4th of July. And then I think I'm going to start I remember commenting on a Flosstube a long time ago saying, I'm just not a pillows person. Having little cross-stitch pillows displayed around my house just does not seem like me. I have learned from this coming from, I've been doing this for about a year, and I'm still brand new to the whole world of fancy flosses and all of that. And I remember at the very beginning saying, I'm just not a pillows person. You're not gonna see me. Yeah, and now look where I'm at. I think it just depends on the presentation. Having this and seeing it displayed like that, that's what drove me to it. If they had just been the plain pillows, I would have been, nope, I don't want those. But having a set decor piece that I can put together with those, and then I can tuck the letters and the stars and the pillows away for next year, and then I have this out, and then I can put more pillows in it for a different theme for a different holiday. And so now I'm going to be looking for, I really like this little kit, and I want to kind of go through all of her things and see if she has kits like that for other holiday type things. Like, does she have something like that for Christmas? And it doesn't have to be 5 little pillows. It can be anything. But maybe this is where I'll do my Halloween ornaments instead of hanging them off the tree. I don't know, though. I do want them on my tree. Decisions, you guys, decisions. But I found that I'm never going to say never. I'm never going to have more than 10 or 15 whips at a time. And I think I'm at 30 and then some because I keep starting little small ones and then finishing them. I'm not going to do samplers. Long Dog sampler. I'm never going to say never. It just has to be the right fit for me. Obviously, these 3 samplers that I got in the grab bag, those don't mesh with me. They just don't. So I'm probably not going to do them. But other than that, I'm open to trying all sorts of things and seeing if I like it. But that is just something that I've learned over the past year of floss tubing and trying all these things. Put stuff down. That's it as far as stitching. My video was interrupted earlier. Can't remember if I told you guys the saga of the bike. So I'll tell you the saga of the bike as fast as I can. I bought an exercise bike. I ordered the bike in December. Obviously shipping on large items, it takes a while. I wanted an exercise bike. I love cycling. I've got my medals on my wall from when I did my 50 miles in the hotter than hell back in Texas. I really want to do some more bike racing. They've got things like that here in Virginia. I'm super excited to get back into it, but my neighborhood is terrible for biking. Plus I don't have the best bike. My neighborhood is like hills, hills, hills. There's no level ground. It's all either up a big hill or down a big hill. There's no in between. It's really hard to get distance when you're exhausted from doing hills. In order for me to do distance riding, I'm actually gonna have to take my bike, drive somewhere, and then do distance. Plus then the winter hit, and I don't have a great winter bike for riding. So I ordered an exercise bike to help combat COVID weight and to get me back into cycling shape so that this summer I could potentially sign up for a race somewhere. The bike was delivered the last week of January. I got on it, couldn't ride it. The resistance was so hard. The resistance couldn't change. Didn't matter what I did, I could not get that stupid resistance to change. It's a magnetic resistance. So what it is it's a metal wheel with this magnet. So the wheel is here, and then there's this magnet. And depending on what resistance, it's either closer to the wheel, which makes it harder to spin, or farther from the wheel, which makes it easier. It's supposed to be a really, really good way to do resistance. You couldn't get the magnet to move. The motor wasn't engaging, nothing was happening. I called the company, we did this whole video chat, they sent me a new resistance motor, my husband and I put the motor in, still nothing. Called the company again. They said, okay, we're gonna send you another motor, we're gonna send you another part, and then here's a number for the local technician, call him and have him come and fix your bike. That was in February. The technician showed up today. Do you know how many times I've had to call the company to get a number for the technician? Because the technician, I don't know if it was this specific one, but the number they gave me, the guy would never answer his phone. So I'd leave a message, never call me back. Call, leave a message, call, leave a message, nothing. So I called them again and I said, told them what was going on. So they said they would call the technician and set it up for me. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. A big fat nothing from February till today. Finally, I think it was on Thursday, I finally got a phone call. And there was a technician willing to come today to fix the bike. Long story short, he came. Something's wrong with the wiring of the whole bike. So he's ordering new wires, so it could still be another month or two before I can even use this bike. So it came. I bought this bike and it had a year membership to iFit, this online thing where you can bike through mountains in different countries. I can't even use it because I can't use the bike. So this whole free year membership that normally costs a lot of money, I don't even get a full year's worth. I'm hoping I can email the company and explain what's going on and maybe get a credit for a half a year, but I doubt that'll happen because it's not their fault. The bike doesn't work. But he gave me this technician gave me his personal cell number and said when the parts that he's ordering to fix the wiring get to my house to text him and he'll get over as soon as possible to fix the bike because he feels bad. It's been so long since we ordered it. Frustration, but at least there's movement. Finally, at least something's getting fixed and we think we know what the problem is. I tell you, sometimes it's just those little things are so frustrating. And then the last thing, I'm not a huge gamer. Hold on. I'm not a huge gamer. That's what I was starting to say. I'm a bit of a nerd. I do like the occasional game. I've enjoyed SimCity, Sims, Cities and Skylines on the computer. Pretty much most any Nintendo game that's come out has been fun. One of my favorites though was Mario Galaxy on the Wii. But just before my husband deployed this last time, I started playing Borderlands on our Xbox, and then we would meet up. That would be our date night, was we'd meet up online and we'd play some Borderlands together, which was really fun. But a lot of the time he'll play a video game, and if it's a role-playing type of video game where there's an actual story and you make decisions, and I like to watch him play while I'm doing my cross-stitching or whatnot, which Mass Effect is one of those, hence the Mass Effect sampler. He enjoyed the game, I enjoyed watching the game. Mass Effect just re-released all 3 of its games in a Legendary Edition where they've remastered them all and then put them back to back so that you can play through all 3 of them from start to the finish of the very last one with updated graphics, updated controls. I don't think there's anything new in the story, but they've made it so that you can level up a little bit easier because that was a big complaint. Anyway. So we got it. We've been playing Mass Effect this weekend. Because like I said, you guys, I am a bit of a nerd. I'm not a great gamer, so you know, you're not gonna see me on Twitch streaming live gaming where I'm like, and you know, drinking the energy drinks all night long. But I will enjoy some gaming. It's a fun pastime, and it's something that my boys are really into, so it's a way that I can. In fact, my two sons and I met up on Battle for Neighborville, Plants vs. Zombies. It's an online version of, I mean, there's the Plants vs. Zombies that came out many, many moons ago where, you know, you plant your plants and the zombies are coming and you're fighting. Well, they took it to a first-person shooter type game where you can be a plant or a zombie and you can run through a neighborhood shooting people with your, you know, firepower or your peas or whatever. It's super fun. And then they released another, a more updated version called Battle for Neighborville. Not sure how I feel about that one yet. It's mostly online play. I don't like doing online play, especially if it's with people I don't know. So I've avoided that. But if you can play, if I play with my boys in our own game, that doesn't bother me. So we've been doing a little bit of that, and just, oh yes, and me and my two oldest are getting our first dose of the COVID vaccine tomorrow. Finally was able to get that set up. The state of Virginia is vaccinating 12 and older, but I have, when I go in tomorrow, because on base where I'm going, they are saying 16 and older. So my 13-year-old daughter is not coming with us. I'm going to double check tomorrow and make sure that they are not. And then if not, then I'm going to try to find a local place to take my daughter so that she can get vaccinated. And then I'll just have one kid that's waiting because he's not yet 12. But hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be able to, by the end of the year, he'll be 12 and he'll be able to get it anyway. But I just wish I could just take them all to one place at one time and get it, just, you know, that's the most frustrating. I kept trying to call to make appointments and I could only make an appointment one person at a time. I could not get through to anywhere that would be like, are you a family? Would you like to get your family vaccinated? Yes, please. Here are my kids' ages. Tell me the times. That would have been very, very nice, but I haven't been able to find a website that allows that or a phone number that allows that yet. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough. So anyway, this was a longer video filled with lovely stories, but it also had really great framed things. They look so pretty. Can't wait to hang them up. Now I gotta figure out where they're gonna go. Tricky. All right. Maybe this week I'll do some updates throughout the week to make filming the video easier. I don't know. We'll see. I said that last week and I didn't do it, so. All right, I'm gonna go now because there's nothing else for me to say. So I hope you all have a great week and I will see you soon.